Johnny wanted to know what you would do to get your first 30 students.
What would you do to get your first 30 students? You want to start, Paul?
Well, I would not do what I did.
What'd you do?
I opened a gym with no students because I'm an idiot. And I went super in debt, but luckily I had a really good corporate job that was feeding the gym. So I tell people, like, if I wanted my first 30 students, I wouldn't even open a gym. I would do what you guys did, because that way you test the model. Because honestly, like, and this probably offend people too, but if you're halfway decent at what you're teaching, you should be able to get 30 students pretty quick from people you know. And then, I mean, this is embarrassing, but like when I started my gym, there wasn't internet. There wasn't ads. It was the fucking yellow pages, and I couldn't afford the yellow pages. So I went guerrilla. It was like, yard signs and stuff like that. Now it's easier. It's Facebook groups, making posts, inviting people in, talking about, hitting the different angles.
So I'll tell you how we did it. The testing, what he's referring to when he says testing the gym model. So
you guys, it was perfect.
Thanks. It worked out well. What we did is we went around, we knew the area where we wanted to open a school, and we went around to different places, different facilities that would have some open times and would have a similar setup to what we would need. So the one that we found was a CrossFit. Think about a CrossFit model. This works really well because CrossFit, even though it's a gym, it operates with classes. So there's times available where nobody's using the gym. So people who have big facilities like that really would love it if they were getting paid in their off hours. So what we offered to do was sublease out their space when they weren't using it. And our academy, people we were an adult focused academy. So we were cool with starting our classes after the last CrossFit was done. So that's what we did. Some other people that we know, they have subleased out of gymnastic studios because, again, they have a matted floor too. So that works out pretty well. We had our mats and we kept them stacked in the corner. And that was actually our warm up every day, by the way, was laying
out the mat.
That was those mats. If you know zebra mats, they are not.
That's a freaking workout every day.
People are. They were very strong. They did well, and they were warm when we started. But so we subleased out of a CrossFit facility. I started a Facebook page. I made a really basic GoDaddy website, the drag and drop, because I didn't know how to do anything else. And we started talking to people that we know. Most of the time when you are starting an academy, you're probably not starting it with absolutely no resources. So at that time, there was a lot of association schools in our area, and we talked with them. Some of the association schools had students that were really from our area. So people were very supportive about saying, like, hey, listen, it's down the road from you. This is where you should train instead. And we sort of partnered up with some of those association schools at the very beginning to just get some exposure and start talking about it and tagging photos and whatnot. And again, we had the Facebook page, we had the website, and then we did a lot of the guerrilla stuff. I was going to Kinko's, but Kinko's is what? FedEx office now. Making the flyers, grabbing the neon paper that was cheap that I could still afford. Not that super expensive neon paper, but you print out a little quarter page flyer, and you go to Kinko's and you run off 100 of them, cut them in 4s. I couldn't even have them cut them. I couldn't afford that. So I was cutting them myself. And we would fly our cars. We would pass them out to people. We'd leave them on tables at restaurants when we were done eating. We would do anything we could to just kind of guerrilla market that. We did try yard signs when we could afford to buy yard signs, but that was more like 60.
I would go to Barnes and Noble's, the bookstore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd put business cards in all the grappling magazines.
Yes.
How desperate I was.
Chris used to do that too. We'd take the quarter page flyer and put them in all of
stick them in all the magazines.
Anything that was mail, whatever. Yeah.
Get people to come to the gym.
Anything. Yeah.
Now you just want a Facebook ad.
Now you're on Facebook ad. But if you're broke, you can't do that. So these are the kind of things that we did. And I like to say that you get 30 students by accident. I really, truly believe that you can open doors, be half decent, treat people well, teach great classes. And if you have some sort of network, those first 30 students, in my opinion, do sort of just happen. It's when you want to move beyond the 30 students that you have to start paying attention. Okay. Because even at 30, you can collect, if you wanted to, I don't recommend this, but if you needed to collect by hand 30 checks from people every single month, you could do it. You don't want to and don't do it, but you could, because it's only 30. Okay, so you really don't have to have, it's an incredibly lean business model. The only thing you're going to pay is rent for the most part. You have almost no expenses. It's pretty simple to do at that point. And a lot of people who have other jobs, this is what they do because that's really all they have time for. When you want to start getting into the higher levels, you got to do a little bit more stuff. But yeah, you can do it with a cheap GoDaddy $14 a year hosted website and use their free tools for the drag and drop. Start a free Facebook page. You start putting out good content that's organic. You just start going live. You start telling people what you're doing. You start taking photos. You talk to other people you know in the area. Maybe you know any other business owner who will let you start to cross promote with them. Do some flyers. And I'm telling you, to get your first 30 students, that's about all you need. Your key in the first 30 is to not overdo your expenses. If you want to survive long enough to get to 30 to 60, don't get cash poor. You have to be patient. You have to be able to bide your time. And the only way you're going to do that is if you keep your expenses really low. That's how you do it.
And that's one last tip I can give you guys, because people ask me this all the time, like, well, I need to buy stuff. It's like, literally use a notepad, a spreadsheet, whatever. Write down all the things you need for your gym. Write them down. Put down what each one costs, and then make it a goal each month. Like, hey, if I needed 5 signups and I got 7, okay, cool. We profited off the 2. What can I buy? And then go off the list and you start, and it makes it fun because then you're like trying to get like this thing filled out. Like, oh, we're going to get this. We're going to get this. And I still do stuff like that. Like I'm in remodel number 812 at my gym, it feels like, but I'm like, hey, do I need to do all this right now? No, because if I do, it's going to be a shit show. So I saw the contractor. I said, hey, I want this, this, and this done. We're going to do this month. And then 6 weeks, we're going to do this. And then 6 weeks, we're going to do that. Because at first I was like, I'll just get it all done at once. But then I was like, do I really want that many people trashing different sides of the gym? At least I could contain the mess on one side and then move it.
Absolutely. Everything can be done in phases and everything can be upgraded later. So again, like one of the things that I hear people who waste a lot of money at the beginning is they waste a lot of money on gear and apparel. And I would not recommend that you do that. I would not buy any gear that you have to pay for up front. Everything that you have at that stage, 0 to 30, you want to rep your gear? Good. You totally should. My husband stole the line from Grant Cardone. He goes, I don't want to wear something of somebody who's not paying me to wear it. So he likes to wear his logoed stuff around, especially at the academy now. He's like, why am I wearing Show Your Roll? Why am I wearing this? He goes, they don't pay me. He goes, I should be wearing my own stuff. This is dumb. So how do you do that if you don't want to have a ton of excess inventory, which is a big waste of cash? You go to something like, there's better versions of this, but Google what's better than this now. But at the time it was Cafe Press.
Yep. Cafe Press for sure.
Is it the world's highest quality screen printing? No. Have they also improved over time in the last 15, 20 years? Yes. So go check it for the Cafe Press alternatives. Google Cafe Press alternatives 2023. Okay, there you go. And you're going to find these companies that print on demand. You can create these little stores absolutely for free. And you can set up t-shirts, you can set up water bottles, you can set up whatever. And if people say like, man, I really want to rep some gear from your academy, you got 30 students, send them your link to your Cafe Press store. You're going to make some revenue, not enough to go live off of. So don't overdo your time on this, but you're going to make some cool stuff. It's not going to cost you anything out of pocket. You're going to get a little check at the end of the month from the people who have bought some things. It will be little. When I say little, I mean little. You're not going to make a fortune on this stuff, but it's going to allow you to feel like you're an actual business and you're an actual academy and you're doing some stuff. So utilize your free resources, keep your expenses low, be patient, trust the process, and that's going to get you to your first 30 students. Pretty simple. Our goal of this is to make hungry entrepreneurs. Okay, we want to help you get a lot done in a very short amount of time. And our goal every single week that we do something, our goal is for you to implement that thing within 6 days. So we want you to implement that within 6 days and move on.
If you like it, let us know you like it. If you think it's stupid, let us know we're stupid.
That's fair.
Let us know. We're here to help out. We like doing this. Is fun for us. So
as you can see, we'll see you in the group.